Give me my kids back! My dad shouted at my window. My mom was struggling to keep him away from the house, and my aunt was in the shower, still screaming in pain, trying to rinse off the bear spray from her face. My siblings and I were hiding inside, curled up on the floor. My heart was getting crushed with every bang on the window. At the age of 18, my mom was like any other ordinary girl. She was in high school, planning to go to college, struggling with exams, partying with friends, and being in love with a guy. Of course, like any other girl in love, she thought he was the perfect guy. So, when she got pregnant, she decided to keep the baby and they quickly got married. What she didn't know back then is that he lied to her about his age. He was 13 years older than her. Only later she realized how wrong she was about him. "Where were you last night?" asked my mom.
I was working, of course, for your sake. Do you even know how much I do for you all so that you can have a nice, easy life?
My dad snapped at her.
Don't lie to me. I know you were at the casino wasting my money again. What do you mean, your money? Do you think you're worthy enough just because you can earn something?
Fast forward 5 years, and this was how her daily life had become. Mother of 2, finishing her college, working at a hospital, and struggling with her marriage with a man who was constantly lying to her. She only stayed with him so her children could have a normal family. But with my dad around, our family was anything but normal. At the age of 25, she was already having me, her 3rd child. Since then, things were only getting worse and worse. 3 years after my birth, my mom ended up with huge amount of debts, all because of my dad's irresponsible behavior. Not only he was lying to her, he started stealing from her. As a child, I had no idea how bad was my dad to my mom and in how much trouble my mom was. In my mind, I had created the image of having a good, happy family, and I had no idea that it never existed. Growing up, I got much closer to my dad as my mom was always working. He was a good, kind dad to me, and I had fun spending time with him. Among my siblings and me, I was the one who was closest to him. In fact, I was the only one close to him. Both my sister Laura and brother James were indifferent to his presence. Because of that, when my dad once went on a trip for work, I was the only one who kinda started missing him. One day, while thinking about my dad, I typed his name on Google for fun. I wasn't expecting anything to come up. After all, my dad wasn't famous or anything. He was just a normal employee in a normal company, right? "Laura, what is this?" I struggled to form a proper sentence, staring at the screen with my eyes wide open. For a few seconds, I forgot how to blink. "I told you, not everything you see on internet is true." My older sister Laura paused as soon as she noticed the image on my screen. "Is this one true?" I managed to ask, even though part of me knew. Seeing is believing. She nodded, sitting beside me on the couch, while still staring at the inmate picture of Dad in jail. He had never been out for work. He was in prison for breaking in and theft. The perfect image of my dad that I kept painting all my life shattered that day. Deep down, I too knew what kind of person he was. I just didn't know how to believe something you don't want to believe. After that, I slowly started to see Dad for the person he was. Even though I was still a kid, I could tell that he didn't want good for us. My mom divorced him and kicked him out of our house. It was a big change for me. I started to cope with things I discovered about him, but our problems didn't end there. One afternoon, I found him watching TV in our living room.
"I'm here to see you, sweetie," he told me.
"Why did you steal money from Mom? And why do you keep causing trouble for us?" I tried to suppress my tears. I didn't want him to think I was sad. I wanted him to think I was angry.
It's your mom who set me up. Do you really think your dad can do bad things like that? She cheated on me, scammed me all my life, and even lied to you guys about everything. Now, be a good girl and watch a movie with Daddy. I'll buy you a candy later,
he said with a smirk. I knew he was lying, but I settled down beside him anyway. I just wanted to watch a movie with him, like a normal father-daughter. We watched the movie and had a pretty good time. He even got me the candies he had promised before leaving. That night, my mom returned late from work, and yet it didn't feel too lonely. I felt a warm feeling taking over myself because of the positive interaction with Dad earlier in the afternoon. And then, I heard my mom's cry. What's the matter? Me and my siblings rushed to her.
My gold ring and chain. It's gone.
That's when it hit me. Why exactly my dad suddenly missed me and came to visit me? I told my mother everything that happened. It was clear that Dad was the one who stole those things, and there was nothing we could do about it. Since we didn't even have a proof, I didn't see him taking it. But at this point, it wasn't necessary for any of us. The fact that my father only cares about money made me feel horrible. I was beginning to see that I can lie to myself, but it'll not change the truth. Even after so many things, on Father's Day, my mom decided she let Dad spend time with us. I wasn't excited. Maybe it was just a fear of disappointment. I was afraid he proved to me once more that he isn't ever going to become the father I can love. And I wasn't wrong. I was waiting for him outside the house when it happened. I spotted him under Mom's car. He was trying to put something on it. I called out to my mom, rushing towards the house. He quickly got up from the ground and launched at me, but I slipped into the house. Both my mom and my aunt got outside and I told them everything, catching my breath and clutching onto my skirt. I took a quick glance at his face, filled with rage, before rushing inside the house. He seemed so different from the Dad I knew that it hurt.
What is your problem? How can you do something like that to your family?
My aunt hissed angrily.
Family? What family? Didn't she take even my kids away from me?
He shouted back, taking a few steps closer while sliding his hands into his back pocket.
Just get out of here. I will never let you see my kids again.
My mom shouted back.
I'll take my kids with me,
he said in an angry voice before taking out a bear spray and spraying it towards my aunt's face. My aunt screamed in pain, crawling on the floor as my dad pushed away my mom and started banging on the window of my room.
Give me my kids back!
My dad shouted at my window. My mom was struggling to keep him away from the house, and my aunt was in the shower, still screaming in pain, trying to rinse off the bear spray from her face. My siblings and I were hiding inside, curled up on the floor. My heart was getting crushed with every bang on the window. He drove away before the police arrived and questioned us about everything that happened. After that, we had to move to our grandmother's house, and we installed security cameras in our house. I have accepted that our family would be much happier and normal without my dad. I am trying to forget the bad memories. I will still love him, even though he's not someone I can miss anymore. My mom has gotten a boyfriend, and I kinda like him. But life still isn't easy for her, as she is fighting with Dad in court. We're all trying to move on and have a happy, peaceful life. I think this nightmare is almost over. Almost. Throughout this whole journey of figuring out how my dad was destroying our family, I realized it is very important to let go of people who constantly hurt you, regardless of how close they are to you. If you're ever in a relationship where you're always forgiving them for constantly letting you down, then you need to cut off your ties with the person and move on. Your forgiveness shouldn't be taken for granted. Remember that if someone always hurt you, they will not make you feel otherwise, and they do not deserve you in their life.
To all of you, I will never let you go. I need you, I want you, can't let you go. 'Cause you know what I need, Hi guys, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Please like and subscribe to see more great videos. See you again.